the incision. So that's the incision. It looks absolutely disgusting. If you guys could tell, I'm just trying to figure out how to speak without it feeling weird or feeling like it's too big for my mouth. I'm not gonna lie, this side was probably like my most insecurity, is this side, like smiling and just having that extreme gap here. But now, yeah. She actually told me don't brush my teeth or anything for like a whole day, like a whole 24 hours. I know that's pretty disgusting, but y'all do that. Y'all be doing that on a regular. Okay. Nasty face ass. Yeah, she told me, you know, brush your teeth like normal, just be a little bit more gentle with it. It really doesn't matter what it is that you use. I'm probably gonna go ahead and invest in another electric toothbrush. She said that since she's gotten her crown, she just uses that on like a very low speed. So I probably might go ahead and invest in that. But she basically told me, like, you know, this is going to be something that you got to be super careful with, despite the fact that you've got them done. Just be careful. So I think I'm already kind of careful with it anyways, because having like my gap and like that loose tooth already, I kind of already was supposed to be precautious on what it was that I ate, how I ate it. Like, you would never see me biting into an apple. You would never see me like biting into a burger with like my front teeth like that. Like, I already knew. So kind of like when she was kind of giving me like a description of the things to eat and how to eat them, I was like, girl, trust me, I've been doing that my whole life anyways, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? But that was the reality of it. But now it's kind of like I'm a little programmed to like to know, like, I've been doing that anyways. So yeah, other than that, y'all, this is the teeth, the temporary teeth at least. This is probably what my teeth are gonna look like when it comes to the final product. She did say that they will look 1,000 times better, which I do trust that they probably will, because I'm not gonna lie, the more that I'm looking at myself, the more I'm like, okay, you got a pretty smile, girl. Oh, and if I zoomed into for you guys would see where my actual tooth is, where they actually shaped it, because you could see like the shadows of it on these teeth. That's why, like, I'm not going too close to y'all, because I don't need y'all talking shit. You feel what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, y'all, these are the teeth. So the next time you guys are probably gonna see me is when I go to my post-op appointment, just to see, you know, where we're at and where we're going. So that's gonna actually be October 16th. So I will see you guys then. So they did go ahead and also give me like a prescription. They put like 24 in this. This is like an ibuprofen, 600 milligrams, just for the pain. And of course, like after the numbing stuff started to wear off yesterday, I was in so much pain, got a migraine, whatever the case is. I didn't eat all day either, so that also added to it. I'm supposed to take, oh shit, it said 1 tablet. Yesterday I took 2. Oh my, it says take 1 tablet. Oh my God, I could have overdosed. That's insane. But it says take 1 tablet by mouth every 6 to 8 hours, and I ate it with like a yogurt, like a vanilla yogurt. So yeah, so that's what I've been taking. And she also gave me these flosses. She calls them like threaders, but you're basically supposed to put your floss like in between here, and then you'll utilize this to like go in, but like inside. I literally have to put it through the top of where my gums are and pull it out and just get that part, and then exert it, if that's a word. Yeah, I'm not flossing like I normally would. So she gave me a couple of these, and she told me that I could use them a couple of times, just one a couple of times. Like it shows like in the picture here, all you're doing is like going into the teeth. So yeah, that is the shindig, y'all. Pray for me, pray for me, pray for me. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I know like a lot of people has been like, oh my God, your gap is this. I couldn't keep it, okay? As much as I as much as I wanted to. And I don't know what these niggas, I really don't know what everybody else is going to think about it. But I got 2 yeses, 2, they look beautiful. So hopefully I'll keep getting that. And no hater is going to be like, why you did that to your teeth? Why you did that to your teeth? What's up, y'all? I'm on my way to my post-op appointments. Wish me luck. I'm here. And it literally happened this morning while I was flossing. Really? I'm like, thank God my appointment was today because...
Oh, so we can do it today. We can do it today.
Oh, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm busy today.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's such a nice day today.
It is, right? The weather's so nice. Fall.
Really? Okay, let's do this. We try one more time. Let's schedule her early in the morning, like the earliest appointment. Okay. Okay. So, if you feel over there, I'll go talk to her. Okay. Can you do something for me? Okay. Could you recement this bridge for me? Make sure we clear the inside.
Good morning, y'all. So it is another day from the last time you guys seen me on video. I was at the dental office getting a couple of things fixed up and just them checking on how well I was healing. So the only thing they really did was they fixed the smile a little bit. They also checked my incision that I told you that they had to put in my gums to see like how well it was healing. The doctor said that it was healing actually very, very well. And they give it about another 3 to 4 weeks. So I go back in the next, now 3. I'm gonna go back October 13th. My appointment is at 4 p.m. So I will be leaving work, heading straight over there to see what they say. If I am healing properly, hopefully, I guess that'll be the next appointment for the final look. I'm really not in no rush. I definitely just appreciate just being able to get this far. And he's very, very communicative, if that's a word. So I'm really not trying to rush the process like I did last time. I'm just appreciating everything, but hopefully we could get it done. I'm just at least happy that I have an appointment before I do go on that big trip. But I'm also gonna give you guys a little bit of intel about, well, a little bit of details, a little bit of a story time about how this came to be and why I said that I'm enjoying the slow process and everything not being rushed, and me kind of knowing everything every single time I go into an appointment, like what's next. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the beginning, how this came to be, like why we're here. I kind of explained it in like my first video, but it got deleted some way, somehow. So I'm just gonna restate it for you guys. Let you guys kind of in on why we're here, why I did it. So when I was younger, I would say probably about 9 or 10, playing with my siblings in my mom's room, I was pushed to the floor and they had tile in their master bedroom. So I ended up hitting my front tooth on the tile. Okay. My mom said I already had a gap, but as I got older, without like even taking care of that traumatic, that trauma at the time, that traumatic injury at the time, which of course, as a kid, you're not really thinking like, hey, mom, take me to the emergency room, especially when, you horseplay all the time with your siblings. Didn't really think nothing of it, but as I started to get older, I started noticing my appearance when it came to that one tooth. It started to become quite an insecurity for me because it was like the one tooth that was just sticking out. I knew that it was an insecurity because every single time I would laugh, I would always cover like my mouth. And then like, I think the moments where I would think about it the most is when I would drink or like smoke. I would think about it the most, like, wow, this is like a huge insecurity for me because that's all I'm thinking about. I'm like thinking about how I'm smiling. Can people see it? You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those things where it's like, I got to get rid of it. So the older that I got, the worse it started to look, the bigger my gaps started to get. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I wanted to actually go in, get some braces like years before. At that time, of course, when they told me the price of how much it was going to be with the insurance that I had at the time, it just didn't work. It wasn't working. You know, I think like 19 at the time. Kind of paid my way through things myself. So I was like, financially, this is not a good decision at the moment, but when the opportunity meets itself again, I'll definitely do it. I had to actually choose the opportunity because it was kind of like, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like, I need braces ASAP. So a better job, of course. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to stack up and save. I went back to a new orthodontist at the time, a better location, I guess you would say. Went in there, hey, I want braces, okay. I didn't really ask too much questions. I just kind of was like, hey, is there anything that I need to do prior? They said not necessarily. He wrote up a treatment plan and was just like, we'll just be working with like your general dentist as well as a periodontist, and we'll figure things out. So we have this treatment plan and it's kind of going pretty well. I start to notice like a huge dramatic change in my smile. Things are kind of coming together. Things are kind of aligning. I'm not trying to ask as much questions, but I'm also not as responsible either, because when you do have braces, you also have to like be very mindful. I was smoking a lot at the time, drinking, that kind of affects it. And then at the time, I also didn't get my teeth clean before getting braces, or like my gums clean before getting braces. So when you have those braces on, it's really kind of hard to even floss. You know what I'm saying? I was flossing, but when you have braces on, that's when you have to kind of take care of your oral hygiene like 10 times, 20 times more. And to be quite honest with you, I wasn't really doing that necessarily. And I was traveling at the time as well. It started to become like a huge thing for me when I started to notice like my gums inflamed. It was as if like my gums were like allergic to the metal. My gums were inflamed because my oral hygiene wasn't good. Okay, I wasn't flossing maybe as good, smoking, drinking, that kind of all plays a part. And then the inflammation to your gums. And since I already had like severe like an infection, gingivitis, like come on, it's untreated. I got braces in my mouth, like it all kind of played a part in the reason why my gums were inflamed. So when I got back home, I was like gone for like 3 months overseas. And then when I came back home, I was like, I really got to figure out what this is, because it's starting to hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I went in back to my orthodontist and I just kind of was like, they're inflamed. He didn't really tell me much. I kind of just was like, yeah, I need these off. I need to go get my teeth cleaned. And so he was just like, okay, whenever you decide that, just come here before your appointment. We'll take your braces off and then we'll put them back on after. So I found like a general dentist, which to me is kind of weird because I feel like, I don't know, an office like that should do general dentist work before putting braces on anyone, but that's just me. So I went, so I ended up going. The dentist didn't want to do the job on me. He just was like, you have braces in. Like I still had like the little things in my teeth, just not the bracket, but I still did have like the braces, the brace things in my teeth. And he was just like, I can't even work on that. He was like, just go to your periodontist. So I ended up going to my periodontist, which I went to probably like a year prior to that. And I didn't go back because his treatment plan was super expensive. It was, you know, and with treatment plans, when they make it, like you have to be very just consistent and just make those appointments and things like that. So just a list of things that he had to do. I went in and he was just like, hey, like, why do you even got braces on? Like, he was like, well, your oral hygiene, like your gums are infected, caused due to the trauma, you know, the traumatic injury years ago, because again, I didn't have any bone in that one tooth. Putting braces on it is not going to make the situation better either. So when he told me that, he basically was like, yeah, this is the treatment plan. You shouldn't have braces on. So I go back to my orthodontist and I basically told him like, hey, like Jit said, like, I'm not supposed to even have these on. I told you, like, was there something that we needed to do prior? You said no. And now we're here, you know, and I'm not putting 100% of the blame on him, but it was kind of like, I could have just took care of the maintenance before putting the braces on, because now the maintenance is harder to do with the braces on. So he was like, okay, and I guess he got word from my periodontist, and my periodontist told him, don't put the braces back on her up until we finish our treatment plan and her gums are healthy. Don't put the braces back on her until her gums are 100% healthy. And we see like a change in the inflammation that's going on in her gums. So at that point, it was kind of like, my orthodontist didn't want to put the braces back on. It's like, it's just no way, like the timing, the scheduling, everything. So I would say probably at that time, like it was a priority, but it kind of wasn't, unfortunately. So when he took the braces off, of course, they got to give you retainers. And he was like, we'll just continue the treatment plan once your gums are healthy. And if you know, retainers are a pain in the ass, okay? Retainers are sent from hell, okay? You lose the retainers, you gotta pay for them. $500 for the pair, $250 for a pop. So it's like, I was kind of investing on, you know, new retainers and not seeing, like, being happy with my smile at the end of the day. And that was the purpose of doing, you know, getting braces and, you know, making sure my oral hygiene is good, is because of my smile. So once I felt like I was just putting money into like paying for these retainers every single time they got lost, I was just kind of like, what am I putting my money towards? Like, it's not like I'm not spending bread. Like, I'm literally spending $500 every single time I lose something. Or like just probably the top, I'll have to pay $250, but I was losing them recklessly, okay? Like, and they get lost easy, okay? You could be at the house and you could lose them and they end up in the trash, okay? You go out to dinner, you leave them on your plate on accident. Of course, you're supposed to have one of these things, but you leave them on your plate, they get thrown away. You're going back to the damn restaurant trying to look for them. You know what I'm saying? Just like little things like that, I kept losing them, misplacing them, not knowing where I put them. And during those times when you lose them as well, even though you paid to get them redone, you have to wait a period of time to receive them. So imagine going 2 weeks without your retainers. Like, for me, that was a security problem for me, because I was like, oh, my teeth are gonna shift, my teeth is loose. Like, it was just a lot of precautionary measures that I had to take within those 2 weeks. But that didn't make me feel good, knowing that, okay, I paid for something and now I have to wait to get it. And then when I put them on, I have to make sure, like, when I pull them out, you know, things like that. So it was just too much of a hassle. I was kind of tired of it. The last thing I did actually was pay for a lifetime warranty on retainers, which I need to figure out what the fuck going on with that, because I don't need retainers no more. But if you know, you know. Retainers are a pain in the ass, and I spent way too much money on getting retainers. Probably the amount of money that I spent on retainers is probably the amount that I could have just spent on a new smile. So when that came to be, and, you know, you kind of get tired of the back and forth with that, I'm sure they got tired of seeing me too. It's like, something's gotta give. Like, so when the opportunity met itself, I just was like, you know what, I gotta do something. I don't know what it is. Am I getting braces again? But I need to do something. And if I had 20K right now, I'd probably go to Columbia and get veneers. Okay. I don't know how much it costs, by the way. I don't know. But that was like, I think, my breaking point. It was like, I'm just tired of spending money on freaking plastic retainers. like not even Invisalign retainers, you know what I'm saying? And then it kind of was like, it really doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't matter if I get braces, if I don't have a bone there, it doesn't matter what happens. It's not gonna get better, you know what I'm saying? It's just not going to get better. So once I reached that point, it was just kind of like, something's gotta give. And that was my story. Like, I just was super, super insecure about that trauma injury that effed up my whole smile. And I just kind of lost hope. And I don't know, I kind of lost hope. I didn't feel secure. I didn't feel like my smile was beautiful, even though people was like, you should smile more. That's the reason why, like back in the day, I wouldn't smile in any pictures. I probably still don't. But that's why I would like withhold my smile. So that is what happened and the reason why we're here. If you guys want to hear the next part of the journey of how it came to be now and why I decided to close my gap, you guys will have to watch the previous video and that story time, which is in the beginning of the video as well. You guys will have to go watch that. But yeah, that is why we're here. And so that is why we're here, and this is it. Okay, this is it. I think the only thing that I would tell anybody trying to get dental work, know what it is that you really want to do. Ask questions and take your time. Okay, unless it's like an emergency, you know, an emergency operation or procedure. I would say know what it is that you want to do and ask your questions, and make sure you also get the maintenance done to your teeth prior to getting braces or getting anything done to your teeth. That's a must always. Have a general dentist where you could go to get your teeth cleaning, get your gums clean. Make sure that you're flossing good. Get the right toothbrushes, the right toothpaste, the right mouthwash. That has changed my life. My girlfriend, she be telling me, in the mornings, you just spend like so long getting ready. And majority of the time, what I was doing when I had the retainers was literally flossing, mouthwash, brushing my retainers, getting all the gunk out of my retainers, brushing it again. So a lot of the time that I was taking was on those retainers, okay? And I still take time on making sure like my oral hygiene is 100% correct. But like I said, it will not, your teeth will not, your smile will not look good if you're not healthy. Your oral hygiene is not healthy. Your gums aren't healthy. If you don't take care of those things first, it doesn't matter if you have a white smile. Everything else, your breath smells, your gums are black. You got to take care of those things first before. I'm not saying my gums was black, but my gums have tremendously gotten better. And you just got to know what to use. Everybody's different. Everything's different, but everybody has to do the same thing. Make sure if you do anything with your teeth, you are taking care of that maintenance prior. Okay, that's going to save you a hell of a lot of time. I promise you, a hell of a lot of time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on November 13th so we could figure out the 6-week post-op and see where we're at with everything. And hopefully, grace by God, we get the final look before I do my big trip. But if not, I'm okay. I'm going with the flow of God, and I've learned that time is in his hands. So stay blessed, y'all. I'll see you guys in a little bit.